Hi, and welcome to today's 4-Minute Mark. Still in Mark chapter 12, and we're looking at verses 35 to 40 today. While Jesus was teaching in the temple courts, he asked, "How is it that the teachers of the law say that the Christ is the son of David? David himself, speaking by the Holy Spirit, declared, 'The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I put your enemies under your feet.' David himself calls him Lord. How then can he be his son?" The large crowd listened to him with delight. As he taught, Jesus said, "Watch out for the teachers of the law. They like to walk around in flowing robes and be greeted in the marketplaces and have the most important seats in the synagogues and the places of honor at banquets. They devour widows' houses and for a show make lengthy prayers. Such men will be punished most severely." Remember a few days ago I said that Jesus hates hypocrites, and here we see it. These Jewish leaders who pretend to be religious, well, actually a lot of them were religious, but they were doing it as a means to an end, so that they will be respected and honored. They're not doing it to honor God because they love Him. They're out for themselves, pretending, well, some of them weren't even pretending, but they were trying to obey God. Why? So that they would be honored, not God. And they would devour widows' houses with the temple tax and things like that, that were common in those days, all the while praying and being pious and so on. And they make a show of their lengthy prayers to God, and Jesus says these hypocrites will be severely punished. Jesus here is teaching, and he says, why do the teachers of the law say that the Messiah is going to be the son of David? And it is true that Jesus was a descendant of David, but it is also true that he was something much more than that. And to make that point, Jesus gives this example that in the Old Testament, David said, "The Lord," meaning God the Father, said to my Lord, someone above David, someone that David serves, someone who has more authority in the eyes of God than David. The Lord, the Father, said to my Lord, David's Lord, "Come and sit at my right hand until I put all your enemies under your feet." So Jesus says here, if David is calling the Messiah Lord, then how can he be David's son? Now, this might be hard for our culture to understand because we are so used to kids rebelling against their parents and not respecting their parents and so on. But back then, the authority structure was much different. And Jesus is saying here, there is no way that David, a king of Israel, and also the father, would say to one of his kids, "You are Lord over me." It just wouldn't happen back then. And yet David said it. So Jesus is making the point that the Messiah has to be something more than just a descendant of David. Or David would have never said, "Oh, you are my Lord, I bow down to you." I hope you don't bow down to your kids. Worship your kids. So David is saying, no, the Messiah has to be something more than just one of my descendants. And of course we know that Jesus was a descendant of David, but he was something more. He was actually the Son of God. Have a good week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.